Hi guys, it's Heidi from the Lifestyle Edit coming to you live from our studio. At this time of year we're normally in Melbourne, busy shooting at the studio, but obviously due to the craziness of the world at the moment we're all in our own little spaces. So we thought we'd just take a moment to reconnect and give you some ideas on content, and we'll take it from there. If you don't know us, the Lifestyle Edit is a digital and content agency. We are located in Sydney. We shoot content, we manage content, and we share content. So basically, we do photo shoots, we do social media management, we do digital ads, we do strategy, we do everything that a brand needs to run a business. So we love shooting with Life in Style because we get to work with all of your beautiful products. And unfortunately, we're missing out on that now. So hopefully we've got a few tips and tricks for you that you can use back wherever you are. I've also got the lovely Lucy, who's one of our social media managers. She's going to ask me a few questions, so hopefully I can answer them.
So Heidi, could you just tell us a little bit more about the origins of the Lifestyle Edit? Where did the idea come from and what makes us different?
Sure. I've heard this question before. The Lifestyle Edit was started about 4 years ago when I found myself without a job. My position was made redundant. It was a maternity leave position. I had no job anymore, and I was in my 40s and I didn't know what to do with myself. So I took a holiday to Bali and I gave it some thought, and I came up with the Lifestyle Edit because it used all of my skills that I'd learnt along the way. I'd previously been a florist, so I was used to having my own business. So I noticed also working in magazines that there was a gap in digital content. So I knew that we were making a shift. Everybody was making a shift. Businesses were making a shift. Instagram was starting to become really big. And I knew that there was a shift to digital, and I knew that people with products needed imagery to be able to share that. And the rest of the business just evolved. Once we started taking imagery, then we needed to show people how to use the imagery, and then we introduced social media management, design, and ads. And as we've evolved as a business, then the business has evolved, I guess, and we've just kept adding all the little things along the way to become a full-scale agency.
In what ways have we really been pushing ourselves in 2020 and especially entering the final months?
Well, we've been pushing ourselves pretty hard, I have to say. Like everyone, we've had to stop and take a look at our business to see where we can evolve. I guess one of the things for us is that we already think outside the box. So for us to take that to a whole new level takes, completely looking at the business in another, way again. So we haven't changed too much, I guess, because we already do things differently. But I think one of the biggest ways that we've changed is, what we're teaching businesses to do. Because everything we do in our business as well, we do social, we do content, we do our ads, we do strategy, we do design, we do all the things in our business that we do for other brands as well. So we've made sure that our foundation continues to be really strong, our strategy is strong moving forward, and then we've created ways in which we can share that information with other businesses so that they can do it for themselves. So we've created a whole set of downloadables that you can use in your business that will cover all those subjects. And hopefully it's a little bit of hand-holding when we can't be with you or be next to you to guide you, straight away. Obviously we work with certain clients on retainers and things like that. So I think we're really building strong strategies for brands. But if you can't work with us on a retainer basis, we've created ways that you can work with us in smaller ways, which is the downloadables, so you can work through them at your own time.
In starting to think about things that we use in our business, but also advice that you would give to other businesses, how would you advise people to make their brand stand out online, and what kinds of things should they be thinking about?
Well, first of all, you have to have a strategy. No business is going to go anywhere without a plan and a direction. So make sure that your strategy is strong. In regards to your own business, I think you have to fine-tune what your values are. So making sure that you really define who you are and who you're speaking to, so that you can actually create the content and produce your imagery and, you know, talk in the language that your clients are going to understand. So, you know, if you have a product, which, you know, most of Life and Style do, or if you have a retail store, you need to be able to showcase your products in a way that is going to capture the type of client that you're, you know, targeting. So make sure you fine tune your shoots and talk in the language that they're going to understand.
And in terms of products, how would you advise people making their products stand out and be different?
I guess you know, with our social media, because we don't actually have a product, we have a service, we always make sure that we have a colour palette that we're working towards. So in your brand and in your shoots, you can work on a colour palette. So if you've ordered stock and you know that you've got stock coming in that's sort of in warm tones, then you're going to naturally make sure that your feed reflects that. So you can use coloured backgrounds to shoot your products on that will reflect, you know, that sort of theme and follow it through. If you're not sure, have a look at our social media and have a look at the way our colour themes flow. It's the Lifestyle Edit is our Instagram, so have a look at that and see the flow that it gets. If you're not sure of what colours to do, just do a little bit of research to see what colours are coming in for the seasons, and you can work to that.
So in terms of deciding on your brand imagery and colours and backdrops and bringing all those palettes into it, where would you start when creating your visuals, and what key equipment would you need for that?
Okay, so whenever we are working on anything, we start with a mood board. And as creatives, I'm just going to come over here a little bit. As creatives, you know, we're very visual, so our job a lot of the time is to interpret what people's brands are and what they're imagining, and we've got to basically make that happen in a visual way, which is why when you work with us, we work with you on the whole process. So the first thing we do is we fine tune a colour palette. So we look at the product that we're shooting, or, you know, that we are moving into. So we make sure that that's going to align with our feed, and then we create a mood board. So depending on what type of shoot it is, this is a shoot that we did for a water bottle shoot that we did, and we basically just dropped a whole heap of inspiration on the style that we would like to create, and then separately to that we made sure we had the colour palette that we wanted to work with. You've always got to work with your own brand. So if your brand is, you know, bright and colourful, there's no use going muted, you know, in all your backgrounds and things like that. You need to follow that brand through from one stage to the next.
So just on those sorts of things, are there any other assets that people would need to really bring everything together?
Yeah, look, we use, you know, these are our paper rolls that we use in the studio. These come in all different colours and tones, so depending on what we're shooting, we change up our paper rolls. You can get small ones as well. This is a really large one because we've got a large studio and we're often shooting things that are quite large, but you can purchase, you know, a roll that's in a neutral colour, or a pop of colour like this beautiful pink one, and you can put your products in front of it. The other thing we use is we use backgrounds like these. You might recognise these from Life and Style in Sydney. These are all little plywood backgrounds that we made with shapes. So coupled with, you know, a solid background like this, that can really work. And then we've got these little plinths that we use, and, you know, you can pop those in front of all your backgrounds. And so, you know, if you're working with small products, you know, plinths, and it might be a little side table if you've got a store. These little backgrounds are fantastic. You know, you can use them for props in your store as well. And paper rolls, if you can just pull out a paper roll and pop it up on a wall somewhere just to put your products on it and shoot it with your iPhone, if you haven't got a professional photographer, then that's perfectly fine as well. So you've just got to have a few little things around to be able to create, you know, if you're doing a product by itself, or if you're doing products, you know, that you want flat lays. This is another example of, you know, this is just something that we've got on our inspo board of just a little, you know, magazine. I don't even know what magazine it's from. Oh, Real Living Mag. You know, it's a perfect example of a little flat lay that's got a few products in it. So if you've got small products, you can get some inspo from mags. If you see things that you love, make sure you pin them up on a mood board or a board around you so that you're constantly seeing different ideas. Obviously, Pinterest is a really great source of inspiration and imagery. So start to create a board on Pinterest, if you like, about, you know, products in your shop, and, you know, get some ideas on how you can shoot that. But you've got to be prepared, and you've got to have a few things around you so that you can set up little impromptu sets, I guess.
And how would you say people should go about getting the most out of their shoots in terms of photography?
Be organised. If you're working with a team like ours, we will make sure you're organised, but you need to have your product, obviously, first, and you need to have an idea of where you're going to use your imagery. So if you need it for Instagram, or if you need it for your website, all that sort of stuff, you need to narrow it down. The next thing we would do once we've worked that out is we work out a mood board and we create the look and feel. So we would talk to you about, you know, who your target market is. We'd look at the colours of your product. We'd create the mood board specifically. If you want a clean look, if you want a, you know, very busy shoot, or if you want it minimal, whatever the look and feel is, we work to that. And then once you've locked that in and you get your images, then make sure you use those images and make time to be able to use the imagery that you've invested into. We find that, you know, with products, it's a really good way to have content all the time is to book in regular shoots. So if you book in for a regular shoot every, you know, 3 months when you get a product drop, and send us product, we get to know your brand really well, so we can create imagery that works with you, and, you know, eventually we'll, you know, it's a very small conversation because we get information from you and we can shoot it. A really good example of how we do that with a brand is the brand called Sade. If everyone wants to go to their website and have a look, we do a main campaign shoot where we go on location and we shoot in a house or something. We use their products throughout the house. Then we shoot their individual products in the studio, just very simply with plain backgrounds. Now, we shoot for Sade very consistently. They've always got beautiful imagery, and it all talks to each other, and it works in you know, across their brand, so that they've got consistency as well. So that's a really great example of how a brand is using really great content. If you shoot once every 3 months or every, you know, 4 weeks even, you've got regular content that will go out on your social media. It can go on your website to update it constantly, and it can go out to your suppliers even, and the more that the suppliers are sharing your imagery, then the more everyone gets to know about your brand as well. So it's very cost effective to do it once and do it well.
And how would you recommend people go about styling their products in the best way for both their brand and also, I guess, taking into consideration things like materials and shape?
Yeah, look, it's a hard one if that's not what you do. So the biggest thing I say is to make sure that you've got images that you love to compare it to, that you can try and replicate. If you can't do a shoot with us, then that is the best way that you're going to do it. Set up a proper little set at home or in your store, and, you know, make sure you've got some good lighting and that feels nice and natural. Get some, you know, things like flowers or dried flowers or greenery is always another beautiful embellishment to go with things, and keep it simple. If you're styling for yourself and you're not sure about it and you haven't done it before, just keep it super simple. Just a simple product with a leaf can be a really beautiful shot. And if you look at our website, you'll find that some of our most beautiful shots are so simple. It's just a product with a leaf or a bit of a branch. So yeah, just keep it really simple if you're not sure where to go, and just use your background colours as, you know, as like the consistent thing throughout the whole thing. Does that make sense? Okay, that's about it. Hopefully everyone is staying safe, and, you know, we get to see you all very soon. If you need more information on us, you can go to our website, thelifestyleedit.com.au, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to email us. We'll chat soon. Thanks, bye now.